Hello, this video is about creating custom JSON endpoints to get all of the data that you want out of a content collection in Zesty. We're going to jump straight in here, so try to be as direct as possible. So I'm in my editor of a Zesty property I have access to, and I'm going to click this add here. So this is where I can add HTML snippets that I can include in my design throughout the site, but it's also where I can add AJAX files. So you can add either an HTML endpoint or a JSON endpoint. And both of these will start completely blank. It's just more about format and doc type and things like that, and the endpoint that you're accessing them at. So when I create a new JSON endpoint, for this example, we're just going to get all of the articles out of my blog, so it will be articles.json. So here we are, and I'll just start entering some, marking up some JSON. Maybe do something like hello world, right? Okay. So let's see if we can pull that up. So to access your custom AJAX endpoints, you go to your URL, live or staging. Staging, of course, as always, will have the unpublished code that's saved, and the live version will have just the published version. So since we haven't published anything, there wouldn't be anything on this live site, and there's nothing on this live site anyway. So it's -custom, and then the name of the file, and the file type that you created. And there we go. But that's not super helpful, so let's start doing something more detailed. So here I'm going to do a parsley each loop through my blog articles as post. And so I want each article to be its own entry in here, and let's start with something like ID. Should be post.zid. Alright. And then the other thing is we're going to need a comma after these, but for everything but the last. So we'll just write a quick if check for that. So I can do if post._num gets me the count starting at 1 doesn't equal post._length gets me the total number. So this would be true for all but the last one. I want a comma and if. Okay. So now let's see what we're doing. Cool. Got a couple of articles here. I like to end my JSON objects with IDs, since I always know there's going to be an ID, and sometimes I might do if checks around the other types of content, and not print out anything if there isn't an image or something. But because you won't need a comma at the end of your last key value. So let's get the article title, post.title. Let's get the date. Comma. And this is a time where it's really handy to have the content variables to remind you what fields are available. It looks like it's not grabbing my each loop yet. I may have to refresh for that, but that's all right. And let's grab the image. Call it image URL. So with this, if you just grab the image field, obviously that won't get you. That will just get you the media bin ID for that image. So you need to do the .getImage extension on the end of that. So let's see where we're at. All right, cool. So we got our test posts and our example post with their different dates. One of them has an image, one doesn't, and their IDs. So there's lots we can continue doing with stuff like this. You could, iterate through the authors or categories within that and get those. But one thing I do want to make sure is we're getting this in the order we want. So, sort by post.date descending will give us newest first. At some other point, we'll probably look at using get variables here, query parameters, or iterative looping, so looping through additional items here, things like that. But that's it for the basics of getting up and running your own custom JSON endpoint to loop through a content collection to get the specific info you need. Thanks.